Hi guys, Warren here from Phone Arena. I'm going hands-on and doing a quick comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which just launched yesterday, and the iPhone 6s Plus, which is probably the best iPhone yet until the new one comes out. Samsung actually mentioned Apple a lot of times, especially the 6s Plus. The S7 Edge, Samsung claims, has a better camera than 6s Plus, and also it's waterproof, which the iPhone is in, and a lot of features Samsung did compare the S7 Edge being better than the iPhone 6s Plus. So let's actually take a look head to head how these devices pair up next to each other. So let's go ahead and take a look what the S7 Edge and the iPhone 6s Plus offer. So let's start with the design. So the Galaxy S7 Edge has a massive 5.5-inch screen with an impressive 2560 by 1440 resolution, 534 pixels per inch, and it's got Korean Gorilla Glass, and it also has a curved edge screen, as you can see here. Swiping from the right, you get this cool software features where you can access apps, your frequently accessed contacts and apps and everything. So that's pretty cool, which is not there on the iPhone though. iPhone, you have a 5.5-inch screen, only a 1080 pixel display, and you also have ion strengthened glass with an oleophobic coating. And it's got what the iPhone S7 Edge lacks is the Force Touch screen. So on the iPhone 6s Plus, you have Force Touch on the display. So that's missing on the S7 Edge. So, and in terms of the design, the S7 Edge is a lot lighter, 157 grams versus 192 grams on the iPhone 6s Plus. I love this phone, but it's massive and it's heavy. I just hate it. Putting a case on this phone becomes even more heavier and chunkier, which I hate. I wish Apple kind of makes this phone thinner and lighter, as they always do. So both these phones use nano SIM cards, so that's pretty much the same. And speaking of LTE network support, the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge supports LTE networks up to category 9 of 50 Mbps, whereas the iPhone 6s Plus supports category 6 networks with about 300 Mbps download speed. So obviously the next iPhone will probably get Cat 9 support. Its refresh is due, but still at the current point of time, the iPhone 6s Plus is the nearest competitor to the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Speaking of design, one more point is that the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, you can actually dunk it in a bucket of water for about 30 minutes. It's IP68 rated, waterproof, not waterproof, but water resistant and dust proof for over 1.5 meters of depth for 30 minutes. So that's something that the iPhone really lacks. So in terms of the design, both devices look kind of unique and distinct in terms of each other. You have the Apple logo on the center, on the top, and you have the Samsung branding here. The camera modules, both phones stick out pretty much the same way. It's not flush. So Samsung has actually gone ahead and downsized their camera module size. So it's a 16. It was a 16 on the S6 Edge. It's down to a 12 megapixel camera unit on the S7 Edge, but it's got much more better low light performance, which is welcome. We actually don't need much of megapixels, but better quality photos though. So that's one good reason Samsung has actually done away with the 16 MP module and gone with the 12 MP module. And you also have OIS, an LED flash on the back. So the same thing for the iPhone 6s Plus, 12 megapixel module, dual LED flash or dual tone flash, and we also have OIS on the 6s Plus. The 6 lacks it. So both phones support 4K video. So let's go ahead next to the performance. So the iPhone 6s Plus is actually powered by Apple's own custom A9 chip, which is a dual-core processor, and Apple does really good fine-tuning for it. So that's the CPU driving the iPhone 6s Plus. The GPU though is a PowerVR CPU, it's called GPU. It's got only 2 gigs of RAM, so that's the internals. The Galaxy S7 Edge though is powered by either a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 or an Exynos 8890 octa-core processor depending on the market, and it's also powered by the Adreno 530 GPU for the Snapdragon variant and the Mali T880 GPU for the Exynos variant. It has 4 gigs of RAM though, which is twice the RAM on the iPhone 6s Plus, and one great difference between both the devices is the internal storage and the memory expansion. The iPhone 6s comes in 6s Plus comes in 3 different variants, 16 gigs, 64 gigs or 128 gigs. The storage is not expandable, but the S7 Edge Finally, Samsung has brought back the much awaited micro SD card slot on the S7 Edge. So as you can see on the top, you have the SIM card come micro SD card holder. So you have built-in storage of either 32 or 64 gigabytes, and you can add a memory card as well, up to 200 gigabytes of card storage. So that's a big difference for people like me who carry a lot of files all the time. So that's a major difference if you're going to be moving around a lot of files between the two phones. As you guys know, the iPhone 6s Plus runs on iOS or iOS 9.2 right now. The Galaxy S7 Edge ships with an Android Marshmallow 6.0.1 out of the box. So that's the software bit. Speaking of front-facing cameras, you might think that the Samsung actually put a much bigger camera on the front, but no, both phones actually sport only a 5 megapixel camera on the front, and that's pretty much it. Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge supports Samsung Pay, their version of their own touch and go payment solution, whereas the iPhone 6s Plus supports Apple Pay in select countries only at the moment. So in terms of battery, which actually something really matters at the end of the day, the Galaxy S7 Edge packs a massive 3600 mAh battery. I'm not sure how Samsung managed to pack such a massive battery in this thin chassis, but it also features fast charging and wireless charging. If you use the S6 Edge or the Note 5, you might have used the wireless charging feature, which was built in. The iPhone 6s Plus though lacks wireless charging and also packs a tiny 2750 mAh battery in comparison for a really large screen phone. But a big notable difference here is that the iPhone only has a 1080p display, whereas the S7 Edge has a 2K or more resolution on the display. It's going to be consuming a little bit more power. So that was a quick comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which is coming out on March 11th in many countries, and the Apple iPhone 6s Plus, which is probably the best iPhone you can buy until the next one is announced pretty soon. So that's it, guys. Do it a like if you like this video. If you have any questions about these two devices, do ask us in the comments, and let us know in the comments what do you think about the S7 Edge from Samsung or the iPhone 6s Plus. Which one do you prefer? What do you think is much different between the two devices? Do let us know in the comments, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.